Hi, I'm Nicolo. I come from Italy and I'm 21 years old. I'm studying here in ISG since 3 years. I did my assessment in English here and now I'm studying in my fifth semester of bachelor. Specifically, I'm doing BA. So mainly it's because of two or three reasons, I would say. First of all, I always wanted to study BA, so I knew this was the choice. And also a quite important thing that played a role in this decision was that I didn't really want to stay at home again with my parents. I wanted to kind of live by myself, live the university experience, and just try to be myself. So I knew I wanted to go away from Italy, and ISG is a incredibly good universities. I had a couple of choice between here and other universities in England, but between the assessment and all the programs that I was able to discover, I finally decided that ISG was the choice. To be honest, I didn't prepare specifically and too much for the admission test. I had a good base as preparation for logic and mathematics because it's two parts that you kind of find in every admission test for every university I wanted to do. The ISG test is really particular. There are some parts which I've never seen, and I would suggest really to check out the online mock exam or samples that the university provides, because it allows you to understand where you have to concentrate during the exam and how the timing should be divided. But this said, to be honest, I didn't give more than 1 or 2 days into the preparations, and I know there are some courses which prepare you for a long time, and also probably the cost of these courses is quite high. So specifically in my situation, I wouldn't recommend. So I think your own preparation is more than enough, and once you go there and you are calm and prepared, you remember everything you did from high school, that should be enough. No, absolutely not. The specialization is chosen right at the end of the assessment year. In that way, you're able to see all the subjects, to see what you like and what you don't, and you're able to really choose what you will be doing for the next 2 years. The bachelor part is really important, and therefore you can't really know already what to do during the admission, but it's something that you will develop during the whole assessment year. So there are differences between classes, lectures, and exercise courses. The main courses have a lecture and an exercise class in basically every week. In the lecture, you see mainly the theory and you see mainly what the teacher expects you to know for the exam, always theory-wise. While in the exercise classes, you tackle the theory, of course, practically. There are some classes in which these exercises course are more important than others, both for me and from all my fellow students. For example, math was really important for me to go, and micro in general, classes where the practice part is really important. Then there are also the RECO or the language classes, which are usually just normal theory and practice courses all together during the week. And the big suggestion I could say and I could give you is that not all the classes are really important, and some classes you will see are more fundamental to go than others. The self-study part is really important in university, especially probably in ISG, and therefore in the first semester especially, I would really try to understand where it's really important for me to go to class and to have someone that allows me to and makes me follow the actual course rather than self-studying and trying to understand by yourself the concepts or the theory and the practice exercises. And that's, I think, really important, because you will see that sometimes you won't have the time to do everything and you will have to take a decision. And it's really important to know where I can do it by myself and where I have to be supported by someone else. So there are actually no differences between the courses. German track and English track has the same, a little different timings, of course, and the only big difference I can remember is that in the second semester, if the English track has focus on international law, on the other hand, on the German track, they focus more on the Swiss constitution. This said, if I can give you a suggestion for both English courses and the English track students and German track students, is to try to see if you're stuck on a problem and maybe ask help to someone else from the opposite track, because it's often the case that even if you're stuck, maybe someone has a little different view on a problem, and it could give you just a little different explanation or something that he thinks that could really help you. And I found this, for example, especially in my case, really helpful in some situations. So no worries, we are all doing the same, we are all in the same university. Just ask around and everyone is really more than happy to help you. Yeah, absolutely. There is no worry to give to mathematics. It's really difficult, but everyone is in the same situation, and the tutors and the teachers are really doing their best to help you. I personally wasn't the brightest or the best in my mathematics course, but simply I just stayed there, I did my exercises, and I followed the lecture. Actually, I suggest probably the exercises course of mathematics are one of the most important, at least in my opinion, to go to in order to really understand how the teachers want the exercises to be solved in the most efficient, practical, and easy way also for you during the exam. Mathematics is really scary. It sounds scary. Everyone will tell you that maybe it's the thing to worry about, but at the end, it's just another subject. So you just have to prepare as much as you prepare the other subjects. And I'm sure that with practice, there is no problem at all in passing assessment, even if you don't feel mathematics is the strongest subjects for yours. So personally, as a student, I really don't know how many people fail in assessment. It's really hard to say, because there are a lot of people who just at some point feel the university is probably not the best choice for them. There are some people who of course will fail because the exam didn't go that well, but it's really difficult to say. Personally, on the group I created, or the group of friends I had around myself, really a few of them didn't pass. And this is really important, because I think if you surround yourself with people who are really driven for the result and are really passionate about what they're doing, they will bring the best out of you. And in this way, I didn't really bother hearing about all the numbers that some people say about the assessment year here. It's really, at the end, not that difficult. You just have to stay focused and don't really get scared about the possibility of not passing, and I'm sure you will do great. So if you don't pass assessment year, it's not a problem. You always have a second try for sure. That's the biggest thing you should remind. There is always a second try here in ISG. Of course, maybe after the fail, you understand that ISG is probably, or BA or economics is not your main choice. This way you can just see and try something else. But if you really think you did the right choice, and maybe you just had an unfortunate exam, or you just understood at the end how you were supposed to study and how to do the best in order to pass, no worries. You can always try again in September, and in that way you will have all the knowledge from the previous year, all the methods, and you will basically already know all the programs, all the subjects. So I'm sure the second time is going to be great. Okay, so as I said, there are some problematics. Everyone will have some little issues. Myself, as I said, I didn't have the smoothest and the easiest assessment here, but I still managed to pass in the first time, and I'm really happy about this. And now that I know what mistakes I did or what didn't really go well, I'm sure I can help some people not really fall into that trap. First of all, it's a new experience. You come from high school, maybe you come from a one-year break, so it's really difficult to get back into the study mentality, especially because now no one really expects anything from you. So you really need to manage yourself, manage your time, and really understand how to study effectively in order to pass. Second is the big change of living by yourself, especially for me. Before I was living with my parents, as probably most of you, and living by yourself really brings out a lot of needs that you usually don't have. So you need to manage your time really well. You need to do groceries. You need to think about cooking and cleaning, and of course this impacts your daily life. But I think as soon as you manage to do that, and as soon as you understand how to easily compel both studying and what you have to do just to survive, basically, I'm sure you will do great. And another really important thing is that um, this living by yourself situation and the fact that you're alone, it can be tricky sometimes. You can think, oh, I don't need to study now, I can party with my friends, or I can just go to the gym another couple of times and this I can do later. And that is really a big problem because sometimes you don't really know when to stop. And this is what I felt was happening to me at some point. So in the first 2-3 months, yeah, experience everything because university is a wonderful time and you really need to make as many connections and as many fun experiences as you can, but really try to understand where it has to end because at some point it needs to end in order for you to study or concentrate on whatever you have to do for university. And I'm sure if you can manage to fully understand this and to fully understand how to manage and how to combine fun, study, duties that you have to do, I'm sure you will have no problem passing. Yeah, I mean, assessment is a really great time. It's so fun and just so new that you experience something crazy every day. You meet so many new people. You have so many new experiences that you can't even imagine. Just starting by being by yourself, going to uni, being in Switzerland for a lot of people, they have to move out of their country. So that's also a really interesting part of assessment. The classes are really cool. Being gathered all around the lecture or exercises courses is really cool. Meeting after a class with your friends and just go to ad hoc, the bar here, or just going down to the center and spend some time together, especially around Christmas time, is wonderful. What can I say? The parties, I mean, we can't deny that a big and interesting part of university is also to hang out with your friends and to live the full university experience. So that's something I strongly recommend to do. Don't really think, oh, I have to study from day one of my assessment until the exam without going out, because you will just not really enjoy anything. You will get really tired, and at the end it will really not be efficient and productive for you. You will actually not benefit from studying that much without having a social life. Social life is really the most important part. You will see that connections, as long as you go, as much and as more you go towards the end of university, the more important it is. Really, connections are everything. For exercises that you don't understand until, I don't know, finding something that you really need, like an apartment, or if you need a help with something, it's really important. And most of the connections you build here are probably going to be something that is really what you're really going to bring into the work experiences and in your future. So really try to live as much of a social life as possible, still remembering that, of course, you need to study, you need to pass exams, so you need to take time for that and you need to set apart a certain amount of time for that, but really just enjoy, be yourself. You will find so many friends, so many people with the same interests and with the same activities they like to do as you, and you will have a great time, I'm sure. So thank you for joining me here. I hope I gave you a lot of information. Of course, remember that there are a lot of ways where you can find out about the uni. First of all, open days. They are really important. You get to see the campus. You have to get first-hand experience on what is around here, and also a lot of information. There is, of course, the online university app, or the online university website, which also gives you a lot of information. Is really well done, and I will strongly suggest to check it out, especially if you're joining assessment. And also, of course, if you have friends who are currently in the uni, have done the uni, just ask them. They are probably the best ones who can give you advices because they've been there. They know where to start, where to go, and how does it end. And yeah, nothing else. I hope to see you soon around here in the campus. Good luck for your admission test and good luck on your assessment.